Sean, we always value some insights into the TARRY yard, particularly at this exciting time of the year. So we start off in the first with a pair of Royal Pursuit and the Limit.
Yes, it seems competitive race. I'm expecting very good improvement from both these horses. I think the Limit maybe just needed gelding. He is one to consider for maybe the back end of quartets. And Royal Pursuit, I was a little disappointed with his last start. Maybe the jockey didn't feel that he was quite right on the day, and I'm sure he's going to strip a fitter horse.
Just sort of skimming through the race, it looked like you had to beat the De Kock entry.
Yeah, there's a couple there that are improving. So for the level of ability that mine have shown up to now, it seems a competitive race.
This horse debuted in a race that I think you won with IDITAROD Trail, if I'm not mistaken. But Byron Bay now gets his chance for the stake check and victory.
Yeah, he does, Andy. I think it's probably the right trip. His debut was good. His second run was awful. He just over raced and ran wide, and it just didn't work out. And I was disappointed with that run. I do think he's better than that. So you know, from a decent draw on Saturday, then we can hopefully just give him a few to follow, and hopefully he doesn't over race, and you know, we can see the best of him. He looks like quite a nice little horse, like a one pacer, but you know, it's a pretty good pace.
Lovely. Then we move on to the second, where you've got OUTASITE.
Yeah, another very competitive race. I was very happy with this filly's debut. I do expect her to improve over the distance, and she should have an each-way chance. I think there was one of maybe Jeff Woodruff's horses that looked that would be the horse to beat, but she should have an each-way chance.
Nice debut, I thought. Trip should be right, and must have come on, I think, since then. Still not quite right in her coat. We've got a few horses, you know, just clinging onto a winter coat, but her work's been solid, and I do think she'll be competitive.
Okay, PILOU was one of your three contestants on Saturday. Very keen, anything but disgrace, finishing 7 lengths off, but we see that you've removed the blinkers.
Yeah, unfortunately, he started getting too keen with the blinkers his last few runs, and yeah, it didn't work out for him. Coming back a week later is not ideal. However, the owner would like to have an answer on this horse, where we're at with him, and I think I'm coming back to his favourite course and distance with the blinkers off, and I am expecting big improvement.
Lovely, that's very positive. As we move on to the fourth, where you've got For a Few Dollars More, and the very talented and obviously potential-filled Silver God.
Yes, start with Silver God. He contested in most of the 3-year-old classics last year, and was never disgraced. He did need gelding, and I'm not convinced he's going to get the 10 furlong. That's why we're just building him up in the distances. But he's a horse that if he does stay, he's a big runner. It's a competitive race in that there are a few young up-and-coming horses, but if he can reproduce the type of form that he produced first run after a gelding, I'm sure he's a big runner.
And then For a Few Dollars More in the same race?
Yeah, he disappointed in the Gold Vase last year. We were building up towards the Gold Bowl, and we just decided to call it a day from there. Giving him a bit of time, he's freshened up well. He should find the distance a bit on the sharp side, but I think he'll be finishing strongly. He's in a good space at the moment.
Quite a quick return to the racetrack, but he's obviously destined for better things, and he needs to get these races won.
Yeah, look, you know, a bit of an awkward draw there right on the outside, but fortunately not that big a field, and he does run from off the pace. Hopefully you can do that on Saturday. Yeah, trying to qualify for the Summer Cup, but it's a bit of a long shot at the moment. You know, we've got to get his rating probably not to be under sufferance. I think you've got to be over 100, so, you know, we've got to find 11 points from somewhere. But look, he is obviously a nice horse. He's taken that last run very, very well, and I mean, he was basically freshing up the next day. So I don't think it's going to come too soon for him. He's obviously fit, he's in form, so I must fancy him.
Okay, then you've got Bienvenue and Rivonia Boulevard, race 5.
Yeah, Bienvenue, another horse that, you know, I've been in two minds as to where to run him. We've always been building towards the Graham Beck, which is now a week away. and his races have been lost for various reasons. So we may just take the conservative route and go into this race, in which, if we do take our place, he'd be a big runner. Rivonia Boulevard needed his last run, but still won very nicely. He's being prepped for the Ready to Run in Cape Town. That should be his third run. I think he's still going to be in need of this run a little bit, even though he did win his last start. But hopefully this should just bring him to his peak.
A horse that looks laden with ability in IDITAROD Trail in race 5.
Yeah, I'm actually, I've sort of got designs on feature races with him, but we need to get these assessment plates out the way. You know, as luck would have it, we thought we'd better run here because we need to get on with him, but I did him at the Val for the following meeting and he drew 1. That's sod's law. But anyway, having said that, I do think he's progressive. I think he knows more about racing this time, and the stand side track should suit him very well. So, yeah, I'd definitely give him a chance.
Lovely. And then triple fisted in the 6th race with all of Celestina, Image Award, and La Bastide.
Yeah, 3 interesting horses. Image Award, last run, I just couldn't fathom out and just decided to take the pressure off, give her a break, come back after the rains. She's a filly that works very well. She's in a good space right now, and you know, she's certainly got a chance. Celestine, another talented filly. I think if Pierre gets on well with her, she should be involved in the finish. And La Bastide, disappointed in her last 2 starts, but that was on the inside course. She won her race before that, so I'm hoping that back down the straight she can find her form.
Distant Call will take her place in the lineup in race 6.
Yeah, she's had a couple of offish sort of runs. Also, we were battling a little bit with her pectoral muscles and her back. Have treated her and just hoping to see some improvement. You know, she's a smart filly on her day, but unsoundness obviously is something that's always going to trouble them. Hopefully we've dealt with that.
Marvellous. And then the pair of Changing Seasons and Concealed Secret in the 7th.
Changing Seasons, this is just a pipe opener after his little stint in Durban. He's done reasonably well, this horse, and he's quite a big guy. The 1200, you know, it's possible that he could be flying and he could have a chance in a race like this, but I'm expecting it to maybe just be a touch sharp for him and maybe just need the run. And Concealed Secret is also another one that's been gelded. He's been looking for it, and I'm expecting a big improvement.
And then on to the 8th race, where you've got a horse that's really looking like he's ready to win any minute now, is TORRE DEL ORO.
Yeah, he did really well winning in the dead of winter over 1,000 meters. He stepped up into a pinnacle after that, which is probably a bit too strong for him. Back to the 1,000 last time, again maybe a bit sharp, and now back to his favourite course and distance. He's definitely going to be running on strongly.
Right, the most important question that we have to ask you with regard to Schippers is, will Geoff be at the course or won't he?
He's not actually coming, so she's got a good chance. Yeah, i.e. she's got a good chance of winning and or the race not being cancelled, so both ways. But yeah, look, it's a hard field that. I couldn't find a fillies race, you know, for her, and I want to run her on Summer Cup Day. There's a Grade 3, 2 or 3, and it's kind of a run to keep her going. I mean, if she can win it, she's there to try, and I think she'll place. She may win. That's how I see it. You know, it's always a bit tougher against the boys. And
then finally, to put the lid on the day, in race 9, 3 stars.
Yes, I think her last run can best be ignored. She won well on debut. This is quite a tough race, but being an assessment plate, we're happy to run her and see where we fit in and see where we go from there.
ILHA da Varlette, she's won well, but she's now in the deep end.
Very much so. Couldn't find an assessment plate. You know, we have to go to that. Couldn't find an assessment plate for fillies, so you know, she's got to run in open company and with a fair chunk of weight. But Gav was keen to get on her, and you know, we'll take our chances there. She's got to have 2 assessment plate runs, so let's try and get them out the way.
You expressed a measure of concern about the weight that Zouaves was going to have to carry in the Grand Heritage race, and he did everything but win it.
Yeah, you know, I was thrilled with his run. I thought it was a real fantastic run under 61 kgs, just to get beaten literally I mean, he was in front, his head was in front before the line and after the line, but on the line it was slightly behind, you know, like an inch. But I thought it was just a terrific run and a perfect come-on run for the charity mile, only to find out that they've eliminated him. For the life of me, I don't know why.
Well, I mean, his merit rating was 98 before he got beaten a short head. So one would think at 101, 102 that he would be eligible.
Well, he's gone to a 102, and that was done on Monday. So no excuses actually for not picking that up. If he was eliminated because they felt he was under sufferance by a kilogram, well, they were wrong. You know, check your weights and check your merit ratings. He's a 102. He would have carried 53 now. And that was the race we've been prepping him for the whole time. And he's run third and a short head second. Charity Mile Day, I thought he was going to be a massive runner. Disappointed, to say the least.
Well, the problem is, where do you go now? Because he's a horse that you've always said doesn't get more than a mile. And there's a dearth of those kind of races.
There are no races for him whatsoever for the whole of November. I did go through the book just to see, you know, how he stands. So where do we go? Pinnacle plates, I suppose, and the odd MR 106 or something when it comes along. But no, disappointing to say. You know, a R1,000,000 race. It's a nice race. It's a nice day, and I couldn't imagine him not getting a run.